我们没有把换电做得足够好，并且让所有的潜在用户跟油车用户都知道。
So this was on NIO Radio, and it was basically a host and Shenfei, which is the head of NIO Power, and he's basically responsible for all the swap stations and chargers and the development of those infrastructure and the technology behind it. So he's a very smart guy. But on this radio show, NIO Radio, they talked about some of the problems. And to give you guys some context, some of the what they were discussing before this was EREVs, range extender. And people were commenting perhaps NIO would have to put range extenders in their vehicles as well to boost sales numbers. And he responded by, the inherent problem isn't range extender. Range extender doesn't solve any problems. He said the problem is that we did not do a good enough job to allow all the customers and potential customers and gasoline owners, vehicle owners, know about battery swap. And I can personally tell you that this is a pretty big problem because at a lot of NIO stores, all they have is like a poster. Some of them don't even have a poster of a swap station. Some of them just have a map of all the swap stations. And potential customers, they really don't get a feel of the convenience you get from these swap stations or even how it operates, etc. And that's why I've stressed numerous times that we need videos that showcase battery swap. And even when I go into the stores, and sometimes I go into the stores to help sales, and I pretty much act as a knowledgeable NIO owner and try to convince potential customers to buy a car. And just from the conversation, you can tell that they have no idea what the hell battery swap is. Some people think it's manual, like done by hand, and they think it's too heavy, and they think, oh no, I can't be bothered with that. I'm not an electrician. I don't know how that works. So no, thank you. I'm gonna go with a EREV that has gasoline, much safer. And that just blows my mind. It just frustrates me. And to showcase battery swap, what I had to do is I had to even pull out my own phone, pull out a video of my car doing a battery swap, my YouTube video, to show to the customer. That's how bad it is. All right, I gotta pull out a YouTube video to show them what battery swap is. Of course, the sales reps know about it. They talk about it, but the customers, they don't really comprehend it. All right. Comprehending it is very different. So the other problem that Shenfei said was sometimes, they try to bring the customers to battery swap stations, but the problem with that is some of these stations are far away from the store, and also some of the times the swap stations are over congested. There's lineups, and what you actually end up happening is they have to wait for the swap, and then actual NIO owners also have to wait for the swap, and the whole entire experience is just not that great, and it's a big waste of time. And let me rephrase that. What they're working on is very interesting here.
它在试驾车辆上能不能够用 3D 模拟的方式去体验一下换電
Yep, you heard me right. So they're working on making 3D modeling of a swap station. And I've actually seen this done. So it's actually at certain swap stations, you can see in real time the car being swapped in a 3D virtual world. And so basically what they're planning on doing for future, and this is to fix this problem, is to have the test drive vehicle bring the customer next to the swap station and then be able to witness the other NIOs go into the swap station. And while they're doing the swap, the 3D rendering showcases everything that happens in the station, the batteries going out, the fully charged one going in, etc. The car being lifted slightly and all that kind of cool stuff, and showcase it in 3D real time without wasting too much time and allowing the customers to see it, which is very, very nice. The fact that management knows about this problem and that this is the biggest problem right now is very, very good. It means that they're working on getting it fixed. And right now, if you look at even abroad, I think the European team actually got this right. Look at the European team's advertisement. A subscriber sent me this photo of the Amsterdam airport poster, ET5T poster, putting the emphasis on 3 minutes for battery swap. Very, very nice. And right now in China, you're also seeing NIO implement sort of these advertising stickers on the swap stations as well. By the way, this feature is already on the NIO app, and you can look at certain swap stations. Only some, all right? You get a real-time update of what that swap station is like, whether or not there's somebody swapping, and the charger conditions nearby. So you can tell right now there's one car that's charging over there, and it's already 99% full. If there's a car swapping, then you can also see the car swapping. But right now, at this moment, there's nobody swapping at that swap station. So this is pretty cool, but they got to implement this in the car and let people see inside the car. You know, after speaking with a lot of NIO execs and top management, general managers, and even like the GM of Beijing, the situation is that there's still a steep learning curve. A lot of people still don't know about battery swap, and that is a big problem to solve. And a lot of that has to do with everybody's common knowledge, right? The common knowledge about battery swap just isn't there. People know about charging, but people don't know about swapping. And one day, when everybody knows about swapping, I think that's when everybody's going to be wanting to buy a NIO, because right now people look at NIO objectively at the cars and not so much at swap stations, unless they dive a bit deeper and realize and understand what swap stations are. And Dr. Shenfei on NIO Radio said there's only two types of people: people who have experienced and done a battery swap, and those who haven't. And the majority of people, even though if they claim they know about battery swap or they know what it is, experiencing it is a different deal. So I think in his opinion, more people that experience battery swap, the more sales NIO will get. So right now, that is a big problem for them to tackle. And I think it all has to do with marketing and promotion. If they're able to get battery swap stations in like a movie, or a very famous movie star promote that, and have like strong advertising campaigns where it's not just advertising the car, but advertise battery swap. Because, you know, advertise a car, some other cars competitors might have things that are better than you, but advertising battery swap, that's a very important thing that I think needs to be done. And take a look at the screens: car, and then a map on the right about battery swap locations. So they really gotta improve this, in my opinion.